Very simple. I mean, it's almost the equivalent of asking you not to kiss snakes. It's almost the equivalent of asking you not to eat during commercial breaks and stuff like that. You can ask Molly to do a lot of different things. Asking her to fast and don't eat, that's going to be a problem for her. That's something she's going to eat between commercial breaks. It's what she does.
Grown woman.
All of us, all of us got whatever it is.
Not a little girl.
Luther, it's that something. It's like he said.
Okay, but this is what I want to know. So.
What? Stephen A.
He's jumping the shark. Oh, wow. So Anna at halftime, she walks in, she goes, "Why is Stephen A always yelling? He was yelling during the halftime show, just yelling into the mic. It's like, get him off my halftime shows, please." I'm sure people say that about me. Get Vontae off my screen. Trust me, there's a lot of you out there, and I don't blame you. But Stephen A. is walking into the arena, and they're watermarking the ESPN logo onto his walks into the arena as if he's Kyrie Irving or Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. I'm like, what are you? Stephen A., I get it. He's feeling himself. But he's feeling himself a little, like the WNBA's got him all over the place, dude. He is. Some of the things he be saying to Molly, man. How long is she going to last on that show?
I don't know. I don't know. I think he's overexposed currently.
Yeah.
I think we're reaching that point with Pat McAfee. Some have already reached it.
Yeah, I've been there.
You know,
I never wanted to see him.
I think this happens. I think this is part of ESPN when you gut the majority of the talent. You only play the top end. You're overworking everybody, and I think that there's a fine line between putting out content and putting out too much content and being almost insufferable.
Well, I don't know if you guys watched SVP last night when he had Tim Legler on, as he does each and every playoff game or playoff series, right? He's been joining him after every, kind of like how Tim Hasselbuck does it with him during the regular season, or Ryan Clark with the NFL. But Tim Legler, his contract's up, and it doesn't sound like, at least from what SVP was saying last night, that he's coming back. So that's just another valued voice getting replaced by just opinion-based, content, which is just...
He might start calling games, but don't he?
Well, that'd be great. I would love to hear that. Or maybe he goes the NBC package or something. I would love that. But that's just another valued voice that they're going to lose, which I think is just going to hurt the product overall.
Well, I'm glad you're bringing this up because we actually spoke yesterday
about the broadcast,
about broadcasters, and it was like, hey, Charles Barkley's going to call it quits at the end of this year.
First of all, do you believe that?
Charles could do whatever he wants. I mean,
I don't necessarily believe
he flirted with the Live golf company.
I was reading stories that he, back in 93, 94, it's like, yeah, this is my last run. And he played like 5 more years.
Well, I mean, whatever.
Like when athletes say that, like Floyd Mayweather Jr. retired 10 times.
My dad retired and went back to work. You know what I mean? My mom's doing it currly. How many times?
That's a little different, though.
How many times did Too Short retire?
That's a
How
little
about
different.
Jay-Z?
Yeah, keep it to the slabs.
What? No, I'm just saying, people want to stay busy. Right. I don't, I'm not going to tell anyone to work, not to work, whatever.
I'm talking about athletes, and Charles Barkley, and high profile athletes. When they say that they were, but saying that, this next year will be my last year of television, no matter what. I don't believe it until I see it. Because Barkley's always flirted with this type of stuff. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
No, all right. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Floyd Mayweather, I watched him after knocking out Ricky Hatton. Here's my last fight. I'm done. Then he comes back. That's it for me. Then he comes back. Boxers used to do it all the freaking time.
After the Pacquiao fight, it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
It's done.
But on a legitimate level here, very few people just leave and never come back. Like Radnich was removed off air and then never came back. Right? He was set up a certain way, and credit to him. Very few do it that way, though. I just know me, and I'm telling you right now, if I forget this profession, just any profession, if I retire early, I'm going to be doing something. I don't know what. Coaching. I'm going to be volunteering. I'm going to be doing something.
Yeah, I think I'll be in a hot tub somewhere getting those retirement checks.
I got to stay busy.
Out of sight, out of mind. No, I'll be busy. Busy doing what I do. Busy getting my Don Nelson on. Talk about that. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding.
But I guess
laugh a little bit.
Where I'm going at with this is, with Barkley stepping down, apparently stepping down, and you've got obviously Bill Walton passing away, John Madden. I was watching a lot of stuff with Bob Costas. It sounds like this is going to be his last Olympics. Yep. The era of the great broadcaster. I'm not saying it's done, but boy, it sure feels like they're more interchangeable now than ever. I mean, Greg Olson, I thought, was really, 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 really good. And it's like, here comes Brady. Get out of the way, Olsen. It's like, whoa.
So
I can't even enjoy Olsen for a couple years.
So this came up because obviously, and we'll get to Uncle Gene in just a second. 888-957-9570. Case to keep Clay. Case to let Clay walk. What's going to happen here? The window's open for the Warriors to negotiate with Klay Thompson right now. Will they resign him? Will he want to resign? Do the Warriors want to resign him? All that's up in the air. 888-957-9570. But this came up because Costas had it's been floating on the internet, and I quote tweeted it. It was after the Utah game where Bob Costas goes off for 90 seconds. And it was a great just montage and monologue and a great script. And he's breaking down the Bulls and what's going to happen. It's like, wow. That was broadcasting. Yeah. Excellence. Yeah. Excellence. And actually, Doug Collins, Isaiah Thomas wasn't bad with Bob Costas. No. Bob Costas, I know a lot of people around here don't necessarily like Bob Costas because of the way he felt about Barry Bonds, but I think Bob Costas is one of one. He is excellent. And when you watch the Madden doc, you didn't realize that, wow, Madden prep run was with Bob Costas at the L.A. Memorial Coliseum. It was unbelievable. But as we watch Mike Breen, and Mike Breen is excellent. Excellent. I don't think he wanted Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson fired. They had something special. And we underrated that crew because social media, and this is why I say social media is real life now, Shasky. I know we joke about Twitter. Now it's real life. Because things on social media, all of a sudden gets an uproar. You get the snowball, and that snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the snowball effect, all of a sudden, you got Doris Burke calling finals games. God bless Doris Burke, the first woman to ever analyze a finals game, right? God bless her soul. But in my personal opinion, I don't think she's an A-chair type of analyst. I don't think she, like that broadcast, it was lacking. And when we look at the ESPN halftime show.
Well,
and Bob Myers was fine. I thought Bob Myers was calm, cool, collected.
I don't think they used Bob right.
I don't either.
Because of the crew around him.
Exactly. Wilbon. Obviously, and Wilbon's talking about, I don't know if this is the greatest success. Who cares? They just won a championship.
I'm so done with Wilbon. You want to talk about another guy. I love him on PTI. I don't like him on my NBA coverage.
I don't either. And then Stephen A. Or Screaming A. Whatever you want to call him. What? He's there just yelling and talking about narratives. Narratives that you're going to use on First Take. The broadcast is starting to lack. We're not putting enough emphasis on our studio shows. We're not analyzing the game. We're not doing that. That's why I love working with Mully and Fezzi and D. Wright and the rest of the crew there, Zena, Kareth, and Monty and everybody. Actually break down the game. Try to teach you something. Mm-hmm. And with these broadcasts, you don't learn anything.
Well, that's one thing, and I'm not trying to just change the subject, but I'm watching Apple Plus Friday night, and it was Dontrell Willis, and it was like, wow, I really like Dontrell Willis calling really games. He's really younger. He's vibrant. I think he's good. You know, he was talking about how he would wear the big parka going to candlesticks. Yep. Now, maybe it only related to me because I'm a Giants fan.
Dontrell Willis is excellent.
But again,
he's what baseball needs.
Exactly.
His personality.
But to think that Dontrell is going to have a Joe Morgan-like run as the Friday night baseball guy on Apple Plus, it just feels like the era of creating these broadcast legends is kind of over, and that sucks. Because like Troy and Buck, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, I feel like that's the last great crew that's allowed to have a decent run here.
Well, Charles Davis, Iron Eagle, really good. I think they can have a run. We'll see about Jim Nets and Tony Romo. Sounds like Jim Nets may be getting a little annoyed with Tony Romo. Tony Romo, I don't know if I don't even know if Tony Romo, I don't know if CBS told him to scale back because something's off with Tony Romo. But Buck, Aikman, I think Greg Olson is going to be a star for a long, long time.
Yeah, but he's not even in their he's not even in their A booth or whatever.
I don't even know who's on Sunday Night Baseball anymore. Who is it? Carl Ravitch and
Boog Shambi still?
No, Boog is with the Cubs, right? He's shook with the Cubs radio.
Yeah, he does. I think he does ESPN radio during the playoffs.
There you go.
Still does, but he's on the Cubs.
I like Boog Shambi.
And they got, who is it, David Cohn?
I actually like David Cohn.
David Cohn's not bad.
Eduardo Perez,
and
Carl Ravitch, or Michael Kay occasionally. Yeah.
Not bad. But
occasionally.
But the broadcasts are, I love a good broadcast. Like I remember Keith Jackson, the way he used to set a scene for a big-time college football game, whether it was Florida State, Miami, Michigan, Ohio State, USC, UCLA, the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. Keith Jackson, the way he would set it up, he had you locked in. He had you locked in from day one. He waxed poetic. He set the scene for you. You hear the bands playing in the background. You hear the roar of the crowd. You see everybody filing into their seats. ESPN, and I blame ESPN for this. The way they broadcast and present their NBA package is just not good enough. It's just not good enough.
Well, now you're going to get NBC in the game.
And I think NBC will pick it back up.
Yeah, Sunday Night Football is here's the problem that I have, though, with Sunday Night Football. Nobody wants to see Jason Garrett and Tony Dungy.
Yeah, no doubt.
They're so bad.
They'll figure that out.
And I actually like Rodney Harrison. I love Tarico. I can't stand Collinsworth.
They've been doing Chris Sims a lot more on there, too. So you'll see a lot more Chris Sims
I'm glad.
going forward.
Yeah, Chris Sims is solid.
And then they got Collinsworth's kid on the field and stuff. And, he got booted from the Notre Dame broadcast because he wasn't good. Again, going back to I just feel like the way the broadcast is, as you're bringing up, Bob Costas is that era is just
it might
gone.
be done.
It's just
gone.
gone.
But Mike Breen's holding on. Mike Breen needs the right guys.
Yes.
He had his crew.
He
had his crew.
Yes,
the chemistry was so off with Doris Burke, Mike Breen, and JJ Redick. All of a sudden, Doc Rivers leaves midseason.
Well, JJ Redick's not likable.
No, exactly.
He's
and
just
his
not
tone,
likable.
and the voice. It's just it gets drowned out by crowd noise.
He's annoyed to even be talking.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it.
The happiest I heard Breen last night was when he was waxing poetically about Jeff Van Gundy being a part of the Celtic staff and how proud he was of that. And I felt like that spoke volumes about how he feels about the broadcast.
I mean, look, we know when you do a good broadcast as a crew. We know we have good days and bad days. If you don't think Mike Breen knows whether it's good or not, and look,
well, the reports already came out when Mike Breen was saying that he felt like he had to carry the broadcast a little bit more as opposed to having Jeff and Mark Jackson there. Because Doris Burke, obviously, she's new. She's trying to fill her way. There could be some nerves there. Then you make a change midseason because Doc Rivers takes the Milwaukee job. And all of a sudden, you just throw J.J. Redick into the pot. It's like, oh, it's not good.
So I want to give credit to, and no one watches this one, but when TBS and TNT have Pedro Martinez, David Ortiz, Alex Rodriguez, I think it's a great panel. I might be alone.
What do you mean, Fox?
What?
Fox, you mean?
No, TNT and TBS, they had those guys, I believe, in the playoffs.
No, I know
was
Fox.
it the maybe it was Fox one. I thought it was TBS.
Fox is
is it Pedro?
Kevin Burkhardt, who's leading it. Then you got Jeter, Ortiz, and
Pedro.
No, Pedro's on TNT.
I thought Pedro was also with David Ortiz.
Nah, Pedro's TNT.
I know Frank Thomas was on that panel too.
Frank Thomas is not there no more. He's back in NBC Sports Chicago doing White Sox stuff.
I think it was Ortiz and Pedro together.
No, Sheffield. It was Sheffield, Jimmy Rollins, and Pedro Martinez alongside.
But no, they do a good job. They do a good job.
The hockey crew. Hey, Wayne Gretzky and company. Who's my guy who's the goalie for the Rangers for all those years? Henry Lundqvist. He's on that crew. They do a hell of a job on that. That's a great panel. Do
you think people? I know we're in the industry, so maybe we're more aware or whatever. Do you think people pick up on it? The average fan? Do you think
no,
they care?
I don't think they care anymore. I don't think they pick up on it, and I think they just worry about game time now. Because obviously the pregame shows, you've been prepping all week for the games or whatnot. People are putting in bets. They're placing bets. They don't care.
They're busy.
And like you think about pregame shows. Fox was the gold standard for a long time.
These guys have gotten really old.
Sad, but it's true.
They gotten really old. I mean,
Terry and I love Terry Bradshaw and Jimmy Johnson. And they've just gotten so old. It's sad. It's really sad.
No, it is sad. It is sad. And CBS obviously shook up their crew.
Yeah.
No more Phil Simms. No more Boomer Esiason.
See, I like that crew.
I did too. But now you're going to have a lot more Nate Burleson. Yeah. A lot more Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher. You get J.J. Watt.
See, I'm cool off Cowher.
And you get Matt Ryan. I kind of like Cowher as the old school coach there.
Like Matt Ryan. Does anyone think Matt Ryan's going to be good? It's like when Drew Brees got put into. I was like, no one thinks Drew Brees is going to be good at this.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why I'm skeptical on Brady. I don't know about Brady. I'm still very skeptical on him being a great broadcaster.
Brady replacing Greg Olson because Greg Olson's been in his bag. Like Greg Olson is.
But this goes back to I think social media and executives are seeing things on social media and they're like if you're at an executive level and you're sitting there and you don't really care about the X's and O's and the meat and potatoes, you're just sitting here, you're going Brady or Greg Olson. Well, everyone at that table who's, again, not as diehard as you and I are like, well, of course you go with Brady. He's one of the biggest names in the sport, and that's going to automatically bring people in. But I think that, those that love football are going to watch no matter what. So they don't care if you love Greg Olson.
No,
they're trying to get the casuals.
No, they are trying to get the casuals. But that's unfortunate because, again, Twitter is only what? How many? What's the
4%
population?
of America?
There's a lot of people who don't even use Twitter.
Like 20% is active. Yeah.
So I feel like Doris Burke got this because for so many years, and I'm not trying to pick on Doris Burke. I'm here for equal opportunities. I don't care who's calling the game. If I like you, I like you. If I don't, I don't. Like I think Rebecca Lobo is very good at analyzing the basketball game. Rebecca Lobo's been excellent for many, many years since we call the WNBA games. I love Rebecca Lobo. She keeps it real. She's really, really good. But Doris Burke, it felt like for many years already, because there was a lot of slander towards Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson, because they would criticize the game, and at times it felt like they weren't happy about the game or happy to be there. And that was just their shtick. Well, but everybody kept saying, Doris Burke, she needs to be doing finals games. She needs to be doing finals games. And all of a sudden, everybody's doing the Homer Simpson now where they dive back into the bushes because like, oh, no, this ain't that good.
Well, Candace Parker, I thought, was really good on that Tuesday night TNT broadcast.
Studio show?
Yeah, the studio show. Like, she was very good on that. And I wanted to see her get more of a role.
Yeah, no, she will.
Just to see what it would be like.
And she will, because she called some games next to Reggie Miller or whatnot. They just kept stepping on each other.
I thought Doris was better in the A chair when she was the play-by-play. I thought she was good. That was way back when. I thought she was really